Hello, it's Eddie G's Music World, and this is a monumental day. We're going to try to keep things glitch free and problem free and have a chat with Ryan Lieber. He says to call him around 12, and it's 11:59. He's a very interesting character. I don't know a lot about the guy, but he says willing to talk and talk about why people talk about him so much, and maybe just hear about his life. Maybe he's exciting. Maybe he's interesting. Well, I'm gonna take a shot at it. What can I do? The guy said he'd be available. Let's hope he's available. Let's see if he answers. That's exciting. It's ringing. Is this Ryan?
Yeah.
Hey, Ryan. Very glad to talk to you. It's Eddie G's Music World. As we discussed, wanted to talk to you and hear about your life and discuss things with you.
Oh yeah. Right. Okay.
So basically, we're on YouTube. I usually do a music show, but sometimes I want to talk to interesting people like you. And I've seen you on YouTube a lot, Twitter constantly. Why do you think, Ryan, that there is such an interest in your life? I'm trying to figure out what draws people to you, as I see that they seem to be fascinated by you. Why do you think they are?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I was controversial in the past. And people like that. I don't know. I guess that would be why.
Yeah, I mean, were you saying things that made people notice you on purpose? Like, were you trying to get attention for things that you discussed that turned them, like, attracted these people to you?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess that would be a good way to put it.
Because I found I could notice some of them, they liked you so much, but a lot of it was about negative stuff they were throwing at you, which is your personal life and things you mentioned about yourself. So
yeah, they still do. They still do it, right? It's like there's a group of them on Twitter, and it's just it doesn't matter what I post. They are always there writing dumb shit. You know, it gets old though after a while, right? It's the same shit. So yeah.
Yeah, I've been looking at it, and I say they seem to love you, but at the same time, they take cracks sometimes. You know, it's like, what's the fascination? It's weird. Human nature. It's so hard to understand. Like, I open myself up to a lot of potential shots too, because I talk about problems I have and issues I go through. I use it as a place to bitch and complain. So maybe I'm a little bit. I let myself people take shots too, but I accept it because it's part of being on. You know that it's part of being on Twitter that you're gonna have people just go after you, right? It's that way.
Yeah, well, they go too far a lot of the times too, right? Like, you know, like I don't care about the attacks, like to me as much, but you know, when they bring my family into it and start contacting companies and mentioning companies and shit, it gets to be really annoying after a while.
So it's kind of a mixed bag. They get to you, even though a lot of it is because they just want to interact with you, but like they want to also undermine you while giving you the attention that they think you deserve. There's probably people who are nice to you, but at the same time screwing with you at the same time. Or do you get separate groups of people, nice people and people that are just after you to screw around with you?
Yeah, I guess. I guess you could say that.
Yeah, so it's a mix.
Yeah.
I noticed that you've overcome some issues. You've been public. I've seen some of your videos, not a lot, but a few. I've dabbled in some of your YouTube videos.
Yeah.
Your addiction, you've gotten under control. I'm very impressed with that. Tell us how you managed to overcome that kind of temptation.
You know, I just had enough of it. I just woke up one morning and I decided, you know, like I'm done. I'm not gonna use any I treat myself on the Friday, and I only do it on Friday. So like today, after I'm done with you, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go get a coffee at Tim Hortons, and then I'm gonna go get my drinks. I'm gonna have some drinks today and play some poker. So
You mentioned poker, so that ties into my addiction. That in 2005, I was gambling like constantly for like 30 years.
you know, like with poker, it's when I started playing online poker. I started on not Poker Stars. I started on Party Poker, and I found with Party Poker I couldn't win. It's Party Poker. I just didn't find I could never win. I could never get a decent hand. I could never, you know. So when I first started on Party Poker, I spent a little bit too much. Right, I made a deposit of $100. I lost that within a couple of days. So I made another deposit of $100. Lost that within a couple of days, and then that's $200 in like 3 or 4 days, right? So I was like, okay, I'm done with Party Poker. Then I moved to Poker Stars, you know, and for the first couple months I spent some money, and then are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there. Listening.
Oh, I thought I heard it click. Okay,
no, I coughed.
anyways,
I coughed.
after a couple days of playing Poker Stars, I spent some money, and then I made it. I said, okay, well, it's getting to be a bit of a problem, right? You know, I shouldn't be spending money on this, so now I make it so I will only, like, if I deposit $20, that has to last me 6 months, right? If it doesn't last me 6 months, I don't deposit any more money in it. So I made a $20 deposit maybe 8 months ago, 9 months ago, and now I have $28 in there. So, you know, because I wanted to turn like some smaller micro tournaments. That's all I buy into: 10 cent, 25 cent, 50 cent buy-ins. And when my money's gone, my money's gone. You know, I don't consider it a problem.
Yeah, no,
but they did get me suspended. Those idiots on Twitter did get me suspended on Poker Stars because they tagged Poker Stars and said that I had a gambling addiction. So Poker Stars, the responsible gambling, they canceled or suspended my account. And so I contacted them. I was like, well, why is my account suspended? And they're like, well, what about these people saying on Twitter that you have a gambling addiction? I'm like, they're just idiots who are trying to get me suspended. I said, look into my account. I said, I've made one deposit in the last 8 months of $20. That's not a gambling addiction. If I had a gambling addiction, I would have lost that. I would have bought in more than $20 in 8 months, right?
Right. What your situation is way better than mine. I was betting anywhere from $300 to $1,000 on a sports game. And, going to the casino, and you know, I could win $1,000 in 7 minutes and drop 5,000 in 2 hours. You know, with blackjack. So I was just getting out of control. It was a way to hide from reality and stress and problems, family, whatever.
But then it creates more stress, right?
Right.
You hate yourself because you lose the money.
Oh, I was punching myself in the gut one night. I had a basketball game when some schmuck dropped the ball at the last 3 seconds and cost me $500. Shit like that was going on. I wouldn't even want to waste everybody's time going all over the sad stories. Yes, I won. There were days I picked up $2,000 in one shot, but overall it was a mess. I dropped probably $200,000 in 30 years, which, because it was a way to hide from the world that's nasty, that takes its knives out and cuts you, and figuratively, you know, it throws you problems.
The world's fucked.
Yeah, I mean,
like I used to be like a big time conspiracy theorist, right? I guess I still am, where I question stuff. Like, you should question stuff with the government because they're untrustworthy. I don't trust the government. I never will. It's, you know, they lie to you, and they lie to you constantly. Like with this fucking pandemic. Like, I'm not denying that the pandemic exists. It's there, but the numbers and shit, they're inflating the numbers. They're using fear mongering over it. Like that lab
years about this lab, and all of a sudden,
Now all of a sudden,
it's true.
NBC comes out, and NBC's like, yeah, 3 people are virologists at the Wuhan lab got sick with coronavirus type illness, and in the lab and then people who got sick, other people just happened to get sick within a block or two of the Wuhan lab. And Fauci says I didn't give them any money, and there's a wire transfer for money to the Wuhan lab for gain of function research. Oh, I didn't do it. Oh, we trusted them. Yeah, masks work. Masks don't wear a mask. Wear a mask, double mask. You don't need a mask. Like, fuck off, man.
Yeah.
Like, dog.
It's madness. It's madness. Nobody can get their story straight. Then Trudeau comes on TV. He's all crying about these dead kids, but the dead kids could have stayed there 5 million years. He wouldn't care, but because they found out, now he's got to backtrack and look like he's sorry, and the sad face on the TV and all this BS. I've seen it so many times. It's annoying, you know.
It's, I know it's going. I'm not fucking stupid. Like, it was after 9/11 that I really started questioning the government, right? Because on 9/11, a lot of people don't know is they were saying it was Osama bin Laden before the second plane even crashed into before they even knew it was a terrorist attack. They were saying Osama bin Laden. I heard it say on the radio before the second plane had even hit. They were putting it in your mind, Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, Osama bin Laden, Al-Qaeda, before the second plane had even hit. I thought that was strange because nobody knew exactly what was going on, but we were being told Osama bin Laden before this fucking second plane had even crashed into the tower.
For all we know,
that was really odd.
For all we know, it was George Bush generated to get Halliburton money through the VP. What's his name? I forget his name. The VP, Cheney, and there's so much.
It was orchestrated. There's no doubt in my mind that 9/11 was orchestrated. There's absolutely no fucking doubt in my mind. There's no doubt. And anybody who believes that Osama bin Laden had that they did with box cutters, and they just happened to fucking the Pentagon. You couldn't get a fucking shot of the 767 or 757, whatever it was, crashing into the fucking Pentagon, but you could see a missile. You couldn't see a fucking
Yeah, it's a lot of hocus pocus. A lot of stuff going on. What's life like in Sudbury? I was there in 1975. Were you alive? Maybe I saw you.
No. Okay. I'm only 40, so I was born in 1981. So
we missed each other. If I would have shown up in 1981, I would have seen a baby Ryan walking around. Because I was there, we went a trip across Canada. It was kind of a lot of industry, right? Am I correct? I haven't been there so long, I don't remember. I barely remember.
We're a mining town. We're nickel. We have the biggest nickel mine in the world here.
That's my 15-year-old brain reminding me that's what I saw.
I wasn't born in Sudbury. I was born in Sault Ste. Marie, so I wouldn't have been in Sudbury. I didn't get to Sudbury until like 2002 or 2003.
I was in Sault Ste. Marie too. They must be not. Are they far from each other?
No. Yeah, they're not far from each other at all. I think it's 2 hours.
Okay, because we went across Canada, so I remember all these little trips. It was nice to get across Canada. It was fun. But what do you think? On another note, what's going on with the hockey? This is madness. This idiot sacrifices his team to knock a guy out, but it didn't. Now they're probably going to lose the series. Did you say?
Well, I don't know. I don't pay attention to hockey unless it's Toronto, so I haven't been following it. Once Toronto got knocked out, I haven't watched hockey. So.
Do you think Tavares, if he was on the team, if he managed to stay healthy the first game and not get knocked out by the idiot Canadian? By the way, I'm in Montreal, but I hate the Canadians, just to let you know. Do you think they would have pulled the series off? I think they would have, if not for that stupid Canadian that smacked them in the head.
Yeah, it's just like the Leafs to blow it. They were ahead 3-1. I thought they were going to actually take the series, and they lose. It's, of course, that's the Leafs do it every fucking year. They were first in their division. They were doing well, and then the playoffs come and they fucking choke. Every fucking year they do it.
Yeah, it's weird, because I come from a town where they win a lot of cups, but I'm a contrarian. I don't want to just love a team because I live in the city. What does it mean? I live in Montreal, so I have to like the Canadians. So when I was a kid, I liked it, but then I became like anti-Montreal Canadiens just because I want to be different, man. It's all. I don't want to be like a sheep. And, I root more for the Leafs and everybody else, but the Habs seem to be like rolling along. We'll see how it goes tonight, but So what's your regular day like? What's your standard day look like? Usually, what do you end up doing? You go to Timmy's like I do for the vanilla flavored coffee, maybe.
I go to Timmy's and then I sit outside for a while, and then I come in, I get online, I just watch YouTube videos, I chill online. That's about it. That's my day consists of. I'm very interesting.
Well, my life is more stressful. I got 2 kids and issues to come up with, always to deal with the 9-year-old twin boy. So there's always something to deal with. A meltdown from a kid, fixing problems all the time. But look, it's a crazy situation. Are you a Stern fan too? I don't remember. I've looked at your stuff and I've heard you.
I used to listen to a lot of Stern. I don't anymore. I don't like how he's fucking liberal and shit now. He's just fucking bashing Trump and all that shit. I got turned off from that. I was just like, no. He had fucking Hillary Clinton on and all that shit. And I was like, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the middle. I'm not anti-conservative. I'm not a big fan of Trump, but I'm not going to say I hate the guy. I mean, he pulled it off.
I'll tell you fucking that much. Fucking can't stand the fucking guy. He's so fucking dumb. Like, he's just so fucking dumb. The guy can't talk. He says dumb shit about children. He says really dumb shit like about the kids rubbing his leg at the pool and calling them roaches. And, he's just fucking stupid.
You mean Biden?
Trump's vaccine it was Trump that fucking did Operation Warp Speed. Won't give him credit for it.
Yeah, Biden's a creep. Look, man, I wasn't for Biden because I think the guy's too old and he's not ready for prime time. But I mean, it's Biden or Trump. I wasn't crazy about either of them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a Trump fan, but if he would have won, I would have lived through it. But Biden
I think Biden's worse, to be honest. Biden's way worse than Trump. Like, Trump said shit on Twitter. Like, that's the word, whatever. But the media, you gotta understand, all the media did was attack Trump for the whole 4 fucking years. They threw everything but the kitchen sink at the guy. Non-stop. Biden, he says that a 6-year-old girl looks 19. The media says nothing. He fucking, he talks in word sound that the guy fucking can't talk. The media says nothing. It doesn't matter what Biden does, how much he screws up, they'll just blame Trump. Everything that Biden screws up, it's Trump. Biden says something stupid, but Trump. I can't fucking stand it. It's just retarded. No.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a mess because Biden's not right for the job either. He's too old and he's kind of fumbling around and listen, I don't want to say I hate Trump.
He's not all there. Anybody who listens to him and you can tell he's not all there. He's got dementia. There's no doubt. How severe it is, I don't know, but he's definitely got dementia. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So how much damage he'll do in 4 years? We'll have to see, but he's definitely done damage so far. Gas is up, the price of everything's up, inflation. He's just spending trillions of dollars like it's nothing.
Well, it'll be interesting. I don't know if he's going to make it the 4 years, and then you're going to have Kamala taking over.
Kamala Harris, which is worse. Kamala's fucking, which is worse. Like, Kamala's like the worst thing. Like, I'd say she's about the same as Biden. She's just bad.
At least she's younger. She's younger. She can handle the stress of the job more, I think.
Like the border, they fucked up the border. The border's a fucking mess. Like, they're letting all these illegals in because they're borders, right? That's the idea. The more illegals, that's why they want the illegals to come in, because they come in, they get free stuff, and then they vote for them. So they see them as voters. Like, that's the only
I see stuff like Trudeau, like in Montreal when they cross the border here into Canada. The cops are putting their hands out. The border guards are helping them across they're like giving the red fucking carpet here. And then in Quebec, the government is so anti-English that they throw them right at the French court before they even get their feet wet over the forest. And then they indoctrinize them into the French society because they won't let them speak English. It's another mess, you know.
The whole world's fucked, and I try not to like pay that much attention to it, but you know, it's just non-stop in your face. Like I go online, it's all this fucking shit, like all these posting about shit. And,
I want to ask you just clear up something or anything that people think or say about you, Ryan Lieber, on Eddie G's Music World that you want to make clear. Because there's a lot of misconceptions. You have a lot of people talking about you. What would you say to them to make it clearer about your real personality, your real life?
you know, like a lot of my shit would stick, right? Like a lot of the shit I say, you know, a lot of it was stick.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of it was just, you know, just saying shit to get people's attention and all that. I'm really not a lot like that, like, anymore. Like, I was using drugs, I wasn't thinking straight, I, you know, tried to get attention, and now, you know, I'm drug-free, and I look at all that shit, and I, like, shake my head, like, you know, what was I saying, what was I doing, type thing, and, you know what I mean? Like,
well, you're a human being, and people just seem to, like flies they just want to attack, they want to buzz around you and make trouble, but I want to thank you because I asked you for some time. I've always liked your tweets and your YouTube videos and comments and the back and forth. These people from Toronto and everything, and they're all jumping in and out of your conversations. It's hilarious. But I wanted to thank you. I want you to promote whatever you want, your YouTube channel, your Twitter, and then we'll end it after that. And tell people how to contact you or communicate with you through the internet.
you can just go to my YouTube. It's Ryan Lieber YouTube. You'll be able to find me. You'll know it's me. Like it's got a picture of me, and I got some stunts and other dumb shit on there. And then this is my Twitter. You can just search me on Twitter. On Facebook, you can find me too. That's about it.
Well, I wanted to thank you for your time. As promised, this was an attempt to get to know you better, and I will respect your privacy and not say anything about you, about finding you where you are and all this. It's your own life.
It was just my fucking cell phone number, right? Because if my cell phone number gets up, those idiots get it, and then, you know, then they give it to people, and, you know, I don't really want to deal with prank calls and shit like I had to deal with on my other phone.
I don't blame you at all. Believe me, I understand, and I would have been scared to do it for some of the people.
If they were to get my cell number, they'll fucking, like, they'll just call places, give them my number, they'll fucking give everybody else my number and shit, and that's part of the reason why I got the cell phone, right? It's not listed.
Well, they'll have to pry it out of my cold, dead hands like, what's that old bastard fucking actor say from the Planet of the Apes? I forget his name. Who knows that old prick that just died?
I don't know, I didn't see Planet of the Apes. So.
Well, it's a famous line from that movie where somebody wanted something from the guy, what was his name? Anyway, and he said, you will have to grab it out of my cold, dead hands or whatever. So your privacy's safe with me, Ryan. I wanted to thank you very much for your time. I hope people find it interesting. Look, you talk about the guy, you take cracks at him, you speak to the guy here and there, and now here's the real guy. So thank you, Ryan, for appearing on Eddie G's Music World. It was a pleasure talking to you, learn about you, listen to you, and keep in touch on YouTube, Twitter, and I'd be happy to talk to you.
Man.
All right. Thanks a lot, buddy.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Well, as these things go, I'm very grateful that Ryan gave me the time. I've always been a guy with never the greatest technical setup, so I'm looking at my headphones. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, I had better looking headphones that could barely pick up the voices of the people if I did interviews. So this one was an interview. I went back to my old headphones, and let's hope at least you could hear him. Eddie G's Music World signing off with Ryan Lieber. Thank you for talking to me, Ryan. And this will be on YouTube. And Ryan, if you ever watch this, you can put it on your own YouTube channel. I'm a low guy in the technical world, that I'm not gonna say you can't do it. I don't really care. It's great. Whoever listens and likes it, it's fine. I appreciate it at the time. And now, thanks again, and I'm signing off for now. Eddie G's Music Road with Ryan Lieber. Goodbye. June 4th, 2020.